Oh, g'day. Here's Bushtralian Jim here with, I thought I'd do a weekly check-in for men's circle, compassionate leadership training. And I thought I might just put it up here for the World Wide Web just to show the kind of the transparency and the kind of things that we put out there. So this is my weekly check-in to my Brotherhood is Exploring Masculinity and Compassionate Leadership Training Program, which is a global program for training blokes like me how to be even better. So yeah, it's good to be with you, brothers. I hope you're going well with your with lives all around different parts of the world. I'm here at the moment in this particular abode. I've got a super bright spotlight. Look at that, it's brilliant, isn't it? Now that's as much as you can see of this secret location. I probably shouldn't be showing you anyway. But what you see over there, there's a fire. I'll give you a bit of I'm living pretty simple, you see. I've got the dogs are guarding my swag. That's a chew toy that I fabricated specifically for the puppies so they don't chew the sleeping bags. And the dogs don't get into my bed the dogs don't get into my bed. They don't get into that bed. This is my bed, and I can take wherever I go. And the dogs don't get into that bed. That bed's only for getting into that bed with other women. So, not with other women. I mean, like I'm a man. So, but for getting into that bed with women, the dogs stay on the outside of the bed. See. So we just sleep on top, unless there's a woman sleeping with me. So I've got a fire here now. I had some camel fat on here that I was burning, and that seems to burn away rather quickly. I would have thought that I would have had more energy coming out of that one than what I got. So that's one for the talk up on the learning capacity there, that you don't get as much energy out of camel fat as what I thought. Keep on there. And so we've got 5 acres here of this kind of landscape. You know, there's little Thrazzle Sweetheart, my baby. Now the thing is, there are foxes here as well. You see, there's a number of foxes. So what I've got is my dogs are over there. Well, they're all scattered around the place at the moment because there's possibly a few families of foxes that live here. I don't really know what the dynamics are with foxes, but there's definitely a number of foxes that use this terrain, use this particular 5 acre area, and then there's another 5 acre area next to it. So they've got 10 acres, and then they've got the creek and the riparian zones on either side of that. And there's plenty of eels in those creeks, and in that creek, and then there's another creek down there. This is actually a drain, and then there's a creek joint over there. But there are eels. There's plenty of eels, and there are ways to catch those eels that I've found very, very easy. So next rain, I'm going to be cooking up some eels, so look out for that one. I'll make sure I brought that one out here on the World Wide Web as well. Now I wanted to point out how content that Elvis was, because they've got plenty of food, got it all sorted, and Elvis was here keeping guard, because when the foxes try to come down just to see what's going on, and also his boxer, he's onto the foxes as well, big time. So this is a real big thing, because we're in this industrial area where everything, like absolutely everything's built up around, except for this pocket, and then a few other pockets come down through the railway line and along the creek and the riparian zone. But it is ripe for foxes, right? Here's Elvis. So Elvis has been busy just checking out the back flank there. We've got all kinds of terrain. This is actually some of the best terrain that I've ever found for my dogs, for the hunting simulation that I engage my dogs in. And what was I saying on there? So the reason why I'm here is where it comes to a real manly thing, you see. The reason why I'm here, so we're doing manly stuff here. And then the actual reason why I'm here is because I'm looking after an elderly lady. I'm not looking after her, I'm just here to make sure that she's not alone. I'm here so she's not alone. Now, this was some kind of community activism thing of some kind. I'm still trying to gauge what it was, because it seems like it needs to be, as far as I go, needs to be a little bit more community there to keep it going, keep the home fires burning, keep the home fires. See, wherever I set up a camp, fellas, and there's a fire burning. So this fire is going to smoulder all night to keep the mosquitoes off me, you see. And when I wake up in the morning, there'll be a fire burning, there'll be coals, and there'll be a fire burning, there'll be smoke, and there'll be that warmth, right? That water will be hot. There'll be a fire. We'll get breakfast going, get a cup of tea going straight away, you see. And that's a real important thing. Keep the home fire burning. It's a very important thing. And you know, like you never know how much time you have with someone. I don't know this person very well. I've only just met them, and I can see movement over there. I'm not going to bring attention to it. The dogs are going to go off, and so we're being flanked by foxes. They're coming at us from at least 3 different directions. And tonight the wind is blowing from a different direction, and it's ever so slight, and we have different climatic conditions. These foxes, smart creatures. I want to catch myself a fox. I'm just going to call it an exotic dog. What's anyone going to know? You know, like really, like you look at the intellect of the people getting around. But anyway, not that I've got a problem. I just look at the wonder. These people manage to get their pants on in the morning, and it seems that somehow the world keeps turning around. But you know, like yeah, you put a man through school, but you can't make him think. Same as you take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Now, I feel like a real manly man, blokey bloke, exploring masculinity by being here with feminists from way back, like in the 1950s. One of them kind of feminists. You know how hard it was? You know how hard it was back then? Yeah, well, imagine how hard it was for a woman, and then imagine how hard it was for a feminist woman. Like, lot to learn. So that's what I'm doing. I'm learning, but there's a massive thing about just giving your whole heart and your soul and your mind over to listen to someone. And it's the willingness to consider and the willingness to reconsider. The temperance. And when you get to spend time with someone who has very strong principles that they've lived by for their whole life, and they've done amazing things, and then you find the world's changed and they're petered out. So it's interesting to see, like, there's certain days that I have a particular interest in. I'll be studying very academically the solar activity and the correlated geomagnetic effects here on planet Earth, and the real-time effects it's having on humans. And I've got a bunch of people out there that are very sensitive, that I always ask them to mark the time and send me their symptoms, and I'm looking at it. So I'm correlating. I see all these patterns, you see. And then I get this other confirmation of that. So I know particular kind of things that are going on in the world, and also I've got astrological influences there in the background of my mind to sort of look at what's going on there, you see. And then I see where people are at that day. You know, 'cause I'm like a Gemini times 4, so I'm kind of out there, you see. And then there's one person who's alone that's got this real focus, the same kind of thing as me. Who's 80 years old. I've been doing it, living it, and now is trying to compile all this research together to get into one place so someone else can do a PhD on it before they die. Otherwise, I suppose I'm probably going to be left doing that work by the sounds of it. But then you find they know all these people, and then you find you have a bloke like me who's knows all these people, and they're like they're alone. They're like, and the one person, you know, like when there's one person that's alone that invites another person that's alone for a cup of tea and a chat, and let the dogs have a run. And it's, I'd been spending a lot of time just coming out once she got out of hospital, just to make sure that she didn't start drinking or get depressed or anything like that, and just to prove to the hospital that she wasn't going to fit into that geriatric category. But you know what I'm getting at is there's something about finding yourself. Find yourself in service to mankind, right? That's a principle. I didn't come up with that. And then you find yourself in life with others, because we're with others in life for their ability to reflect self back to self, you see. And so there's a real manly, masculine thing about finding yourself in service to not only women, but like if you've got an elderly woman, and then there's other women that and then there's like women that are like a generation younger, and then there's like women that are like basically 2 generations younger now, and then there's men and boys that are 2 generations and generations younger, and then there's men out there, and then there's all these different cultures that are out there that are here in this community, in this society that is a large community. Excuse me, Elvis, I'm just trying to do a quick check-in. Elvis, can you just keep your voice down, please, mate? Elvis, just don't worry about. Look, oh shit, this. Yeah, well, it's gonna go off here in a minute. It's gonna be like a ballistic missile. Has scattered into 8 different parts. I've got a bit of a thing with Bufo Various. He's guarding my yard at the moment with Lily, and it's a bit of a sensitive situation. Such a good dog, but the pack dynamics and politics that have occurred, because he's supposed to be with someone else. He's supposed to be elsewhere all the time, and he keeps falling through, he keeps coming back, and he's like, it's my dog, and it's just so much pulling on my heartstrings in so many different ways. And then I'm like really connected to other people a lot, and it's pulling on my heartstrings in so many ways. And then I come and I put everything aside, is what I do. I put everything aside that is me, as my life, and then I come and I be something for someone else. And so it's weird to be here now and not be really doing that so much. But it's a rich experience, because now what this old lady has, instead of me fitting in where I can fit in and come and make sure that she's all right and spend some time and give that social interaction, and I'm just here. It's not helping me so much, but it's helping me in a way to know that she's getting really fulfilled, because all she wants is basically 20 minutes to an hour and a half or 2 hours of social interaction in the morning, and 20 minutes to an hour and a half, 2 hours social interaction in the afternoon. And that's her fill. Like, she is overfilled with the with her needs, what that human connection need is. But it is a vital need, and I see it out there in the world, and that's why I do what I do, and I am what I am, and that's how I am. But to give it over and come and give it over in this one way is a very different thing to being here because someone else is away. So I'm just here for a week to make sure that she's not alone. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. And to have the dynamic interactions like that. I've got the base camp. She's over in another spot there now. It's all got a nice motorhome and all that stuff set up, like a hotel room kind of thing. And she comes over when she wants social interaction. Yells out to see if I'm around and if I'm up for a cup of tea, and then asks if I'm up for a cup of tea and chat. And then I say, yeah, of course, welcome, come in, good morning, you know. And I've already got the kettle boiled, because as soon as I wake up and the dog's active and stuff, then I'll get the kettle on, because I know she's going to be over, you know. Pieces of wood need to be carved every morning, get yourself sorted, because you know you're going to interact. Well, so you do that, you get that sorted, come over, and then it's not like giving over everything, it's like opening up the heart and including where one is at. Well, I do that a lot, but I completely give over everything. I put everything aside to do that, and I do that with a full heart. But to have that when, you know, like, and then there's like it's a fireplace right there, so that's where my bed is. You know, so then you come here, and this is the camp kitchen. I'm just like having a cup of coffee, and then sitting on a chair or lying on my bed. I'm looking up at the trees and I'm talking, and we just like share and stuff, you know. And I'm very lucky. I come to realise how lucky I am to be able to have exposure to someone of such a calibre who's chosen to live a life much simpler, to be really on the ground where the change happens, as well as like, you know, like when I'm a bit like that too, you see, and this is really the only one else that I've seen. I know a couple other people out there in the world like that, but you know, normally the ones that are making the policy change in the government aren't on the ground getting their toenails dirty, like me. And so I can assure you I've had some policy changes in the government recently, in the Queensland government. No, I had nothing to do with it. And anyway, Yeah, so the world's getting better. Don't you worry about that. The world's getting better. But it's never been fucked. It's always been fucked, but it's never been fucked. You know, we're a lot smarter and better and more humane and human heart connected than what they would have us believe, you know, and what we'd believe ourselves. So yeah, there's an eclipse coming up, and I've been going pretty hard and introspective internal journey, which I was already on but I've been ultra relentless since the eclipse. And so I've got a feeling like, you know, things are turning around either way on the things that I want to achieve as goals. And I actually kind of forgot what my goals were and what achievements I'd already made and all that kind of stuff. Because I've actually done a lot for the structures. That there are certain community organisations that are really strong now, and it's because I set them up and I set that structure and I did that. And I was just only reminded of that today by other things being said, and it's all this stuff that I either never gave myself credit for, or I completely forgot about, or I never quite saw it from that perspective, you know, because it's not what the driving force is why I do what I do. But that's sort of given me something, you know. So yeah, you know, fucking I've always been a successful person. I never lost everything and became an unsuccessful person, you know. I've lost everything a few times and I'm fucking a bit stuck still in a few things, but I've always been a successful person. I never became a successful person who isn't successful anymore, you know what I'm saying? Because every time I apply my mind and my heart and my soul, then I'm achieving. And I do notice that, like, I've got this power and I'm doing this stuff, right? And I'm not sitting there meditating and focusing that power on money even. And it's like, if I just meditated for 20 minutes or half an hour on that, then things would probably change exponentially for me. I'd probably also then be able to do the things I want to do properly and in one go. But it's not where my mind is at. So what I've been doing instead is being real clear, real focused, and real aware of where my mind is at and what could possibly be drawing me out of my centre, you see? And I also noticed it's been a number of months now, but let's just say, for conservative reasons, that it's been a number of weeks, that I feel like I've had a real handle, a real harness on my mind, you know? Every single thought that I've thought. It's not like I thought a thought and, oh no. I did have a couple of them today, actually, but I watched them happen, and there's still that thing of having that harness on the mind, you see. Because the mind is a terrible master, but a wonderful slave. You keep it in check, get control, you've got a handle, you've got a harness of every single thought that you think. It means that you watch yourself think those thoughts, and you intended to think those thoughts. Instead of, you thought those thoughts, and oh shit, where did they come from? That's not what I wanted to think. Oh, I don't want to broadcast that out into the universe. No, come back, thought, come back. Oh no, I can't own my thoughts, I can't get my thoughts. Did I even know my thoughts? Did I even own my thoughts? I can't get my thought back. After I thought it, it's gone. Was that even my thought to think then? Well, yeah, it was with full responsibility, and it's gone, and you're going to get control of that. So that's a big thing. Right, that's enough for now. Have that one for free. Cheerio.